afternoon, everybody, and happy Vesak month. So today is the fourth day of Vesak month. So, and also, I think generally people, the Buddhist people do a lot of good actions, dharma activities, noble action during the Vesak month, which is very good. We not only, focus doing good thing only Vesak month. Generally, we focus more doing good thing, good noble action. Otherwise, the full moon day, Vesak month, so we do a lot of dharma activities, practice of dharma, and rest of the month we don't do much. It look like, you can see someone always do a lot of exercise in the morning, reduce the fat in the body, then came back to home and have a big breakfast. It's become equal, right? Burn the calories and eat more, they become equal. We should not be like that. And also, this day we are studying the fifth perfections, which is meditative concentration. It is very important topic. Generally, many Buddhist people, they don't study. They just believe in Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. They believe in so many things, but they don't study. Among the Buddhists, a very little number of Buddhists study, but not think the meaning again and again. They just listen the teaching and they read books, but they don't think again and again about the content, the subject matter. Among the Buddhist people who are studying, who are listening the teaching, they study, they listen, but they don't think again and again. Among the Buddhists who think the content, like impermanence, emptiness, compassion, Buddha, they think very often, but they don't do meditation. Among the Buddhists who do meditation, most of Buddhists, include us, we really don't know how to do meditation. Mostly, we do meditation with a lot of misunderstandings. Within the people who do the right meditation, but they don't do the meditation for a long time, continuously, seriously. That's mean number one, we Buddhists don't do study. The people in the Buddhist who study, they don't think the content again and again. No more, not a lot of reflections. The Buddhist people who do a lot of study, who do a lot of reflection, but they don't do meditation. The Buddhist people who do meditation, they do meditation with a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of misperception, a lot of wrong conception. That way we have a very little number of Buddhists who do the right meditation. Even though the Buddhists who do the right meditation, they don't do the long time, seriously, continuously. All Buddhist people, we are not lacking the study. We are, study quite a long time. Also, we are lacking the, reflection again, thinking about again and again the meaning. Also, sometimes we are not lacking the study, not lacking the thinking again and again. Also, we are very much lacking of the meditation. So meditation is very important. Without meditation, we cannot achieve anything. We study for whole life. End of the life, we cannot achieve liberation. We cannot accomplish bodhicitta, the renunciation, great compassion, nothing. That's why meditation is so important. So therefore, we have been study about meditative concentration. That's why you must remember the 3 mind trainings. First, ethical discipline is a foundation. Second, the wisdom. Third, the meditative concentration. If you don't have, ethical discipline, that means we don't have the foundation of practice of Dharma. Even though you always follow the discipline, you always maintain the vows. If you don't have the wisdom, which is knowing, which is realize emptiness, then the practice of ethical discipline is not that pure, not that, complete. Even though you have, you are very disciplined, you realize, impermanence, you realize emptiness, you realize selflessness. If you don't do, meditation, then you cannot have a lot of progress in your practice. You remember in the morning, afternoon you forget. You remember in the afternoon, then also you forget in the evening. You remember yesterday, we forget today. So that's why we cannot have a lot of progress. That's why we must practice 3 mind training together. So last, I think, few classes we talk about meditative concentration. So shortly, I will review. You just listen. You just don't have to follow the Lamrim pages. So when we think about meditation, there are, 2 types of meditation: analytical meditation and, concentrative or meditative, like meditation. So before we fully focus on any kind of, object of meditation, we must do analytical meditation. Through analytical meditation, you need to find the right object, then you can do, meditative concentration. After you achieve the meditative concentration, then you need to practice the special insight, karma bonding and special insight. Both of can be achieved if you have all the preconditions. So there are, a lot of conditions. So relying on the preconditions for meditative serenity, at the outside, the yogi should rely on the precondition for, serenity, which make possible to achieve serenity quickly and comfortably. There are 6. That means before you start to do meditation, first you must, have all the conditions. So the place where you do meditation, it has a 6 kind of conditions. Easy access to the necessities such as food and clothes. That means, when you do meditation, you must have what you need around you. And the place must be very quiet. Then Number 3, offering good, companionship. That means if you do meditation with someone, the friends must be the good one. If you do alone, then you need to worry. The number 3. On to number 3, number 4. Then number 5, being well steadied. There are not many people about in the day and little noisy at the night. That means if you do long meditation, make sure you choose the right place. This is the kind of external condition. The inner condition, having little desire. You should not have a lot of desire while you are doing meditation. Then must be being content. So while you doing meditation for 1 week or 2 weeks, 1 month, you always be content with the little things. And number 5, pure ethical discipline. Always be honest, always maintain your vows. Particularly if you practice bodhicitta, you must maintain the bodhisattva vows. Then number 6, completely getting rid of thoughts of desire. So usually we have a lot of thoughts. The serious and dangerous one, the desire, the negative desire must get it off. Then this external condition, inner condition. Actual practice has 2 parts. Meditative posture, the meditative process. The posture has 8 features. You must remember. Among the 8 features, the body must be very straight, not bend forward, not backward, very straight. You must remember the meditative posture. Then, after you have all the external condition, inner condition, you sit in the proper way, then how to develop the flawless concentration. This is very important. Yes, external condition is there, all the inner conditions are there. You know how to sit in the proper way, then you must do the flawless concentration. This has like 3 parts. What to do, period to focusing the attention on the object of meditation. What to do while focusing on the object of meditation. What to do after you focus on the object of meditation. That means what you must do the before, what you must do during the meditation time, what you do, after you focus on meditation. What to do, period to focus the attention on an object of meditation. So before this, if you cannot stop the laziness of being, disinclined, cultivation, concentration, and enjoying the things. So the most, the big, great obstacle is laziness. So we must, get rid of the laziness, the physically laziness and mentally laziness. So when you do meditation, you feel, physically you feel tired. That's why you have to, move here and there. Although mentally, you feel, I cannot do meditation. I don't want to do meditation. The laziness is one of the big obstacle for, before you do meditation. That means you must get rid of the laziness of the meditation. How we can get rid of the laziness? That means you need to contemplate the benefit of meditation. You need to contemplate, the disadvantage not doing meditation. So first you think, if I do meditation, I can have the very, balanced body and mind. My body become very flexible, my mind become very flexible. That means you can sit on the sitting, like a posture meditation for few hours. You cannot feel any, physically tiredness. Also, mentally, you can become very flexible. That means when you focus on compassion, you can continuously able to focus on compassion, kindness for few hours, few days. You need to think about, the consequence of meditation, meditative concentration. That means you fully develop, the yearning, the benefit of meditation. Then slowly you feel, you're able to get rid of the laziness. Then he's talking about, fully generate the sense of, yearning, the benefit of meditation. Then what to do while focusing on the object of meditation? So, yes, you have external conditions, you have inner condition, you know how to sit on the sitting position, and also you feel, I really want to do meditation. You feel, you feel very happy about doing meditation. There's no more laziness. Then the most important one, now how should I do meditation? Right? That means, number one, identifying the object of meditation upon which your attention is set. That means now it's so important to recognize, so important to identify the object of meditation, which is you sit your mind on it. Then, so we explain, we study about how many types of object of meditation. So before explain here, the general presentation of object of meditation, generally, explain the object of meditation. The second, identifying the object of meditation for this context, right? General explanation of object of meditation and particular explanation of meditation of object. The general presentation of object of meditation, it has 3 sections. Okay, the object of meditation themselves. How should meditate on which object? Synonymous of the object of meditation, right? Number one, the object of meditation themselves. So what is the object of meditation? Second, if you, fully recognize the object of meditation, how should meditate on which object? Third, you must know the synonymous of the object of meditation. The 3 parts, very important. Number one, the object of meditation themselves has 4 parts. There are 4 parts. What are they? Okay, universal object of meditation. Number 2, your behavior. Number 3, expertise. 4, affliction. You must know the exact meaning, okay? Look at number 1, universal object of meditation. That means he's not talking, everybody must meditate on this object. All meditations, any kinds of meditation, any kinds of mindfulness, we can include into 2 types of meditation. One is serenity, second is insight, karma body and special insight. How the English word used as a karma body special insight? Because in Tibetan language, because ji ne, there's 2 words, ji ne. Ji means calm, ne means abide. That's why abiding, ji ne. That's why English called calm abiding. Then why use special insight? In Tibetan language, we have a lhak, thong. Lhak means special. Thong means insight. See very specially. In Sanskrit, we have a Shamatha and Vipassana. Shamatha must be actually, Samadhi. The Sanskrit original, the word is the Samadhi. Samadhi. Samadhi means fully concentrated. That means all, meditation must include into two types, which is karma-binding special insight, or shamatha and vipassana. Shamatha or samadhi and vipassana, right? That means doesn't matter which meditation you do, which meditation you practice, you must focus the object. Which object mean the image. Make sure this is very important. For example, image always has in mind, right? When you look at the all the Buddha statues, first you look at, then you have the image of the Buddha in your mind, right? Actually, the image in your mind is the object of meditation. That's why this is universal, mean which meditation, you do special insight, you do karma binding, you must focus on the image in your mind. This become universal. So make sure this is very important. Many people think, if I ask, you meditate on the Buddha Shakyamuni, meditate on Manjushri, you just look at the Manjushri, then you are looking at the statue. Your mind is looking at the statue. Is wrong. When I ask you to do meditation on the Buddha statue, you very focusedly look at the Buddha statue, the shape and the color, the size. Then you are copying the Buddha statue in your mind. Finally, you have a similar, image of the Buddha in your mind. When you meditate on, you just fully focus the image in your mind. Okay, very important. That's why universal mean doesn't matter which meditation you do, special insight, karma binding, you need to focus the image in your mind. It's become universal, means both. Then it has how many parts? Universal object of meditation has 4 parts. 4. What are they? Image, non-discursive image, existence, your purpose. Okay. First 2 are, discursiveness, non-discursiveness. That means if you do meditate, if you, practice, shamatha or samadhi, karma binding, that means you just fully focus the image in your mind. Just focus. Just focus. Don't do any, analytic. Don't do any analysis. Right? Just look at the image in your mind. Just fully look at, fully observe. Don't do any, analysis. This means, discursive, non-discursive. If you do, analyze about the image, it's become discursive. The next, do you know the exact meaning of object of meditation for purifying your behavior? Right? First, the object of meditation themselves has 4 universal object. Then second is object of meditation for purifying your behavior. Do you know the meaning? Just look at the sentence, object of meditation. Right? That means you need to meditate on something. For what? For what? Purifying your behavior. Behavior, right? Behavior. For example, like let's say desire. Somebody really like durian, right? So let's say, somebody bought, box of durian. So when you see the durian, when you smell the durian, you feel want to eat. Your whole body is just moving. Right? That means your behavior is look like you have a strong behavior to eat the durian because you have a very strong attachment to eat the durian. Right? The behavior means what? The physical behavior, the person behavior. Then the person who like to, have a kind of person have a very angry behavior. Angry behavior. That means when the person sees someone, the person, the feature is totally changed. Right? Behavior. That means you need to purifying the behavior. How? Then again you have to purify the affliction. Right? Object of meditation for purifying behavior. It has how many parts? A, B, C, D. 4. What are they? They purify behavior in which attachment. This means ugliness. Number 2. Number B, love. C, dependent arising. 4, differentiation of constituent. Then 5, ascension and exhalation. That means you need to purify your behavior. If you have a, like a attachment behavior, then you need to meditate on what? Ugliness. You have a behavior of hatred, then you need to meditate on love. Then you have a delusion or ignorance, then you need to meditate on interdependent arising. Then you have a behavior of the disgust, pride. Then differentiation of constituents. What does mean? The first 3 easy, right? You have a attachment, meditate on ugliness and essenceless. For example, ugliness is mainly talking about attachment towards human being. Attachment toward being. Then you can meditate on the ugliness. If you have a strong attachment on like a mobile phone, computer, car, you cannot think that my car is very ugly. Right? You need to meditate on essenceless. Essenceless. I'm happy to use the essenceless because you say, oh, my car is so beautiful, my car is so nice. Then, which part of it nice, right? You just open, you talking about the door, window, the handle, the string, what? The wheel. If you look part by part, then you cannot see something so nice, which is I can attach it. That means ugliness or essenceless. For example, the name, like famous. Someone always happy to be famous. The person have a very attachment towards the name and fame. How he can think the name is ugliness? Cannot say essenceless. Okay. The number dependent arising is is a delusion, or has it better to say ignorance. Ignorance. If you realize interdependence arising, then you will know that ignorance is mistaken mind. Then differentiation of constituents. What does mean? Elements. Yeah. Yes. Right. What does mean? Perry, are you open the book, not the novel? Wrong book. Very good student, Which is very good. You didn't go for the wrong place. Didn't go the wrong place. Just joke, I always, which is good, Yeah, book wrong place, right place. Okay, anyway, differentiation of constituents, right? For example, I have a very pride about my body. Let's say you have a very pride about your body. Then how you can reduce the pride? How can? Then you need to look at the people who has a better body, stronger body, like beautiful body. If you compare the beautiful body, then your body, then you can see my body is not that strong, not that big, not that beautiful. Then the pride going to reduce. If you have a very pride about your house, then you compare your house with the castle. right? Then your house is nothing. Or you have a very pride about your children, your relatives. Also, then you compare other children, other relatives. Then you can think my relative is very small, very little, not that big. That means differentiation of constituents. The next one, inhalation and exhalation. So if you have a very discursiveness, then that means you have a lot of thoughts. Your mind cannot stay in one place. You have a lot of thoughts. Look like, have you seen when they fry the corn, right? Corn flakes, corn. Yeah. Have you seen when they cook? When they cook, just pop, 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 right? It's so rush in the fry pan, right? Our mind like this, just pop, 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 do thing. That means you need to meditate on, inhalation, exhalation. So you must know why. If I have a lot of thoughts, why I need to meditate on, my breath, inhale and exhale. Why? What is the point? Because mind is always act. The mind always function. Oh, you really need the study. She bought the wrong book, now she played. Okay. Yeah, because Singaporean is okay. You must know the main point, okay? So, generally, we are able to survive. Without food is okay, you can still survive. Without clothes, without house, you can still survive. Without breath, you cannot survive. Right? We in Tibetan call soul. Soul means like a life. Heart and life is different, right? Heart and life is different. So life means when the life is talking about the basis of the mind. Basis of the mind. The mind is always rely on the the wind. So when you able to fully focus the wind, the wind flow very naturally. Then your mind become very calm. Then the more you focus your breath, the mind become more calm. After you fully become very calm, then for you very easy to focus on anything. For example, if you have a very colorful clothes, then you cannot purely become like yellow and red. If you have a white piece of clothes, if you dip yellow, it purely become yellow. Dip into red, purely become red. That means before you do any meditation, first you do the the breathing meditation. It become very calm because the mind, the wind has a very strong relationship. So then you must remember now, when you want to do meditation, you must know which object you need to select, right? That means you have a strong attachment behavior. Then you try to meditate on differentiation constituent. It doesn't work. You must know what kind of meditation you need to do, what kind of object you need to select. You need to choose, right? Choose. Then next one, object of meditation for expertise. Expertise, right? It has how many parts? 5. A, B, C, D, E, right? What are they? A, the aggregates. B, constituents. C, source. D, dependent arising. E, what is N is not possible. That means there are 4 objects. Okay, 4 objects. See, each particular is a object of meditation for expertise. Expert mean you have to be very expert, right? Expert. For example, the aggregates. That means 5 aggregates. What are they? Feeling, discrimination, compositional factor, consciousness. Those are 5 aggregates. If you are very expert about 5 aggregates, that means you are very expert, how the person exists, how the person is look like. The being is merely depend on 5 aggregates. Right? When you understood the person cannot exist separately than the 5 aggregates, then slowly you're going to understand there's not self which exists only independently. Right? That means 5 aggregates, what we call the basis of being. 5 or 4 aggregates are the basis of being. For example, we never name this is a being, this is a person, because it doesn't have a 5 aggregates. Right? That means person or being is merely designation based on 5 aggregates. You have to be very expert about the 5 aggregates. If you become very expert about 5 aggregates, then you're going to realize the selflessness. Number 2, what is this? Constituent. When you become very expert about constituents, what are the constituents? B. The constituents are eyes and other 18 constituents, right? That means there's 6 objects. 6 objects, okay? Sound, first form like physical form, like form, sound, smell, taste, texture, then phenomena. Okay, there's 6, right? Number 1, form, sound, smell, taste, texture, then phenomena. Okay, when you say phenomena is, except the 5 objects, then all phenomena include in it. That means there are 6 objects. Then there are 6, faculties. What is there? Eyes, nose, air, then tongue, then body, then 6 mind, consciousness. Consciousness, be better to say the 6 mind. Right? Then there's me total how many? 12. The another 6, right? Another 6, the source. Now 6 source. Source of sound, smell, you just say, the source of sound, smell, texture, source. Totally there are 18 constituent. That means we just study about the eyes consciousness, like that. Everybody can see the marker pen, right? You can see the marker. How you can perceive the marker pen? That means this is the form. Only form is enough to perceive? No. What do you need? You need eyes, faculty. Eyes faculty. Right? Eye faculty. Yes, there's a form, there's a eyes organ. It's not just enough. You need eyes consciousness. 3 together, then you can perceive the form. 3 together, you can perceive the sound and smell. That means you can realize, the eyes consciousness, everything arises based on source and condition. Right? SPT. So when you fully understand, the 6, consciousness arises based on the 18 source. That means everything arises depend on causes and condition. Next one C. ABC. D. Dependent arising. It's a 12 factors. Factor XPT in them, the impermanent suffering. So generally, we will have a class about dependent arising, right? The Rice Seedling Sutara. So dependent arising is a very important concept in Buddhism. So when you realize dependent arising, then you're going to understand the mind which is perceived things exist independently is mistaken mind, right? When you realize in the dependent arising, you're going to realize the mind which is perceived thing as a independently exists is mistaken mind. That means XPT. When you understand interdependence, then you're going to understand suffering, impermanence, suffering, devote of the self. Right? These are we call XPT, object of meditation for XPT. Next one, object of meditation for purifying afflictions. This is very similar in object of meditation for purifying your behavior. It's very similar. Now, how should meditate on which object? Right? How should meditate on which object? The answer? What is the answer? Yeah. Here, look at. As there are the various kinds of people, from those with the preponderance of the attachment to those with the preponderance. That means, we cannot say this object is an object of meditation. You can meditate on. It depends on the practitioner, depend on the meditator. Right? Then, if you have a very strong attachment, then you need to select which object is important. Synonymous. If you look at book page number 41, synonymous of the object of meditation. Yeah. Yeah. We have two types of meditation, right? What are they? Serenity and special insight. Calm body, special insight. Shamatha and Vipassana. The object is no different. One object can be used, object of Shamatha, object of special insight. That means one object can be used by both meditation. That means the mind is different. The object can be same. For example, everybody just say, meditate on the Buddha's Shakyamuni. That means first you need to remember what the images look like. Then you have an image in your mind. You fully focus. That means you are meditating on the Buddha image. You are meditating on the Buddha, which is the image. That fully focused means you are not doing any analytical meditation. Second, you fully focus the image of the Buddha. At the same time, you are doing analytical meditation. That means the image of the Buddha is both, object of meditation. That means one object can be used both. There's no separate, object of meditation. Yes, anger also same, When you have an angry towards someone, when you have an anger towards someone, that means you need to meditate on love. Love, okay. That means make sure, I said many times, meditate on love, compassion, bodhicitta, tolerance is one type of meditation. Then meditate on impermanence, emptiness is different way. When I ask you to do meditation on love, that time the love is not look like object. You should not have a image of the love in your mind. your mind have to transform. Okay, your mind has to transform as a love. Your mind has to transform as a compassion. Your mind has to transform as a tolerance. Right? That means even though when you meditate on compassion, mean you just generate compassion. Mean your mind fully transform as a compassion, fully, just generate. Should not do analytical meditation. Just focus on the compassion. It doesn't mean compassion is object. There another is meditate on object, no separate. Then within the meditate on compassion, then you can do analytical meditation towards the person. Right? Something. This is, yes, synonymous. Okay, synonymous is important. Look at this meditated basis for concentration. And the next one called image. Okay, image also is called sign of concentration. Object in the domain of concentration. Technique of concentration. Draw through concentration. Basis of attention. Body of internal conceptualization. Appearing image are synonymous. Right? Image. Number 2, sign of concentration. 3, object in the domain of concentration. 4, technique of concentration. 5th, draw to concentration. 6, basis of attention. 7, body of internal conceptualization. 8, appearing image. Right? That means appearing image where in your mind. That's why I call internal conceptualization. Right now, I hope you understood, when you do meditation, you need an object. The object must be within your mind, not the external object. Then, so there's another few important we can cover. Here, the last paragraph, identifying object of meditation for this context. Okay, this context, right? Now, in the previous, it just explained the meditation object. Now, from among the many objects of meditation, I have explained on which object of meditation should you base yourself so as to achieve serenity. That means when we do meditation, you should think, we should think there's a two purpose, the two achievement, mainly for two achievements. One, you just start to reduce, certain negative thoughts. For example, when you feel hungry, what you need to do? You need to eat. Thirsty, drink. Tired, take a rest. Right? It's different kind of different situation. It has different activities. That means when you feel so angry, meditate on compassion. When you have a strong pride, meditate on differentiation constituent. Right? Then, so this is different, time. If you mainly doing meditation for achieving serenity, then the object is different. Let me look at achieve serenity as stated in the sutra passage above. There is no single definite object. Individual require the particular object of meditation. Right? There's not any single object which is, you can say, this is the object for achieving serenity. Right? But we can say there's a single object you can meditate on in order to purifying attachment. There's a single object you can use in order to purifying pride. But there's not just say this is the only object you can do in order to achieve serenity. Clear? Huh? Okay. Yeah, I know. You're not so clear. Okay, so there's no single object. We can say this is the object of meditation you can meditate on in order to achieve what? Serenity. Clear? So let's say everybody want to do meditation, want to practice meditation in order to achieve serenity. So what is the object of meditation for in order what object you need to use? What object you need to focus in order to achieve serenity? The answer, anything. There's no single object. We can say this is the object you must focus on. So, what is the object of meditation in order to purify anger? Then, love. What is the object of meditation in order to purify pride? Differentiation, constitute. There's a particular object. Serenity, spiritual insight, there's no particular object. Look at. That's why an individual requires their particular object of meditation. Specifically, if you are determined to achieve serenity at the least, and if your behavior is dominated by attachment or another affliction, then you need to use a certain type of object of meditation. For if you do not, then you may attain, concentration, the approximate serenity, but you will not attain actual serenity. It is said that even if you turn with an object of meditation, your purifying behavior, you will not achieve serenity. At least you do so for a very long time. It's very important. For example, if you are doing meditation in order to purifying attachment, then you can focus on ugliness. Ugliness. If you only focus on ugliness, doing a lot of meditation, it can purifying attachment, but you cannot achieve serenity. Even though you focus long time, then finally it's possible. It's normally not easy. That means, for example, look at, I'm a bit worried about the time, because look at, for example, it's a container, right? Like a big, like container. So within the container, there's a few object. Is the container full of water. Within the water, there's a few objects. Let's say, paper, plastic. Generally, you need to, you must have a calm, the water should not be shaken, always very stable. If you just, hold one piece of the object in the water, still other object going to move. Right? Yeah, I mean hold an object in the water. Yeah, okay, so for example, container full of water. Then the container is shaking. Then the whole water is shaking. When the whole water is shaking, the thing in the water also shaking. If you hold one object, yes, you can hold the object is not moving because you are holding the object. But the rest of the object is still moving or shaking. That means when you fully focus on ugliness, that means the attachment is not arising, it reduces. But anger is still possible to arise. Ignorance is arising. In order to calm all the, minds, all the negative thoughts, all the, affliction thoughts, doesn't matter. In order to calm all of them, then first you need to achieve serenity. That means you need to achieve, the full, focus, very focused mind, serenity. So that's why in order to achieve, you are doing meditation mainly for achieving serenity. Then there's not particular object we must say you focus on. Clear? If you are doing meditation in order to purify particular emotion, then there's a particular object. Okay? Look at this verse. If you do not, then you may attain concentration, the approximately serenity, but you will not attain actual serenity. It is said that even if you turn with an object of meditation for purifying behavior, you will not achieve serenity unless you do so for a very long time. So how could you achieve it by rejecting object of meditation for purifying behavior? In particular, if you have dominance of the discursiveness, then you definitely have to meditate on the breath. Right? First, you just meditate on the breath, how to have a calm mind. Then there's a few explanation by Kamala Shila. We just go to the next paragraph. Here, serenity is twofold, two types. That attained by looking inward, and that an object of meditation viewed outwardly. That means when you meditate on something in order to achieve serenity, there's a two possibility. You can focus on the inner object, or you can focus the external object, inward and what? Next one, outward, right? Twofold, focusing on the body, object of meditation viewed outwardly. Of those looking inward is as a twofold. What are they? Focusing on the body and the focusing on what is the basis on the body. Right? That means when you do meditation, mainly achieving serenity, you can look at inner object, simply you can say, also you can outer object. Within the inner object, there's a two. You can directly, focus your body and the basis of the body. Body. Of those focusing on the body is threefold. Focusing on the body is set in the aspect of the deity. Focusing on the ugliness as a skeleton, and focusing on the special, signs such as the Kalavagi. That means when your mind focus on your body, generally you just focus your body, and also you can look your body as a, like particular deity body. Or you just simply just think your bodies look like, like a Kadavagi mean like Trishul. You know that there's a weapon, look like has a three tips. Yeah, Tandri staff, Tandri staff we call Trishul, Karavati. That's why in Hindu tradition it's very popular. They always carry the, like weapon, look like three things. That means there's a lot of reason. When you do, tantric practice, then you need to look your body as a deity body. You need to look your body as a Kadavati. You need to look your body as a like cleanness. Focusing on what is basis on the body is fivefold. Right? Focusing on the body, focusing on the basis of the body. So within the focusing on the body has a three parts. What are they? No. Generally the twofold, focusing on the body and the focusing on what is the basis of the body. Body, right? The first has of the focusing on the body is threefold. What are they? Focusing on the body is set in the aspect of the deity. It's in the ugliness. 10. Yeah. Kadwaga, Kadamga, we differentiate Kadamga, right? That means if you want to focus on your body, then you need to think about two different ways. The focusing on the basis of the body is as a fivefold. What are they? The breath, individual insight, focusing on the drop, focusing on the aspect of the Lord rise. Bliss. So those are the, how you focus on your, the body. Next, now we go, I think, bit. Okay. So before we explain this one, first we think, focusing your body is as a aspect of the deity. There's first I will explain a little bit this one. Generally, we have two practices, Sutrayana and Tantrayana. Why we have attachment, we have a sense of hatred. Somebody doesn't like, certain food. Somebody really like the certain food. Why? Because when you have a strong desire on the food, you really like it. You don't have a desire, you don't have an attachment, you are okay or you don't like. So, mainly we have an attachment, we have a desire, mainly we perceive the object is very clean, very pure, very beautiful. We have a sense of hatred. When we perceive the object, the person is looking at ugliness, impure, incomplete, then we have a sense of hatred. In order to, purifying the sense of attachment, sense of hatred, you need to focus on, everything look like pureness. Everything look like pureness. Then, mainly you need to think about your body. Right? When we think about nature of body is quite, ugly. In order to reduce the sense of this kind of thing, then you need to think your body is that particular deity body, like a idam. Then next one, ugliness. Again, so attachment and desire just focus on skeleton. The sign is a karamga. The focusing on the basis of body fivefold, focusing on the breath, you just, fully focus on your breathing. That means when you fully focus on your breath, for you very easy to understand impermanence. Right? At the beginning, when you focus on your breath, it looks like, the breath is long and short. Even though within the, the long duration breath has a many, parts. It reminds you impermanence. The divine sign, you are mentioned this one, right? Divine insight. Okay, for example, in the Vajrayana practice, so we need to visualize the chakras and channel. Then, so generally, we ourselves can be, like a two aspect. One is growth aspect, like you can see us, each other. Second, you can be, you yourself can be very subtle aspect. That means you visualize, like golden symbol vajra, golden, like golden color, very tiny vajra within your body. That means then you fully focus the vajra within your mind. That means it's you need to visualize the small tiny vajra within your mind. right? Within your mind. Yeah, divine is also someday you need to visualize, small chakra, wheel. So the wheel and chakra, vajra are the sign of divines. The next one, focus on the drop. So let's say everybody, we should do, short kind of experiment. I can show you exactly, how it look like. Just everybody, breathe in and out. Then I say stop. Let's see how long you can stop. Doesn't matter. You breathe out and stop. Breathe in and stop. Try, huh? You check your time, or you just think how long you can stop. Okay. Generally, you just breathe in and out, normal way. Stop. Okay. How long you able to stop? Cannot long, right? How long? Okay, I don't know, you just experience how long you able to stop, breathe in and out. Again, another experiment, okay? So difficult to stop, right? You breathe out, you want to breathe in. Breathe in, you want to breathe out, so difficult. Now I will ask very simple way. After you stop, breathe in and out, doesn't matter, it's depend on you. After you fully stop, suddenly you focus, small drop. Let's say, like a grain, like a seed, very tiny kind of particle, just visualize part of your body, anywhere, in the stomach, in your head, doesn't matter. You just simply visualize very tiny phenomena, like a drop. And after you stop, you focus on. Okay, clear? You stop breathing, then you focus on the drop part of your body. Very small, drop. Doesn't matter the color or doesn't matter. With the color, no color, just see how long you can able to stop. Then you feel a bit easy to stop for a long time. Okay, again, just breathe in a normal way. Stop. Focus on the drop. Okay, how do you feel? Bit longer? Right? Bit longer. When you focus, the small object in part of your body, number one, you need to forget, I need to breathe in and out. You need to forget. You just focus on the drop. Because when you think I need to breathe in and out, you have a sense of worry, you cannot stop. Right? Just forget, need to just focus again. Okay, here again you just breathe a normal way. You just totally forget, breathe in and out. Just focus, very small drop, smaller than the mustard seed. Again. Stop. Okay, bit easy to stop, right? So this is how you're able to, these are way how you can control your breath. Then you go more, longer one, then you need to visualize, like very tiny drop or tiny seeds within your body. Then you need to visualize, you need to think you are within the drop. You are within the drop. You are within the seeds. You have become very tiny. You really think I become just tiny particle. When you really think I become very tiny particle, then you no need to breathe in and out, right? So this is what we call drop. Focusing on the drop. Focusing on the aspect of the light rays. One. Yeah, drops means I think in Tibetan here say Kengru the Ulum Shamatha Mikba Tilela. Just say drop. There's no S. Tilela Mikba. Vajrayanla Mikba. And light rays. And the focusing on the light and bliss. Okay, so we will have a tea break here. So we can have a break. So we just explain, we have studied about how to achieve serenity. Serenity in twofold. One is inwardly and second is outwardly. Now we study a little bit about the serenity based on the object of meditation viewed outwardly as a twofold, special and common. That means you just think, I want to do the practice mainly in order to achieve serenity. You're not talking about, doing meditation for reducing attachment, anger, pride. No. I'm doing this meditation mainly for achieving serenity. Right? Then you can use your body. When you use your body, then there's two parts, outer, body and based on body. When you, no, now I'm not going to focus my body, I want to focus on other object. That means, outer white. There's two parts, special and common. Of those, special has two folds, focusing on the deity body and the focusing on the deity speech. The deity is referred to the Buddha. In regard to keep your attention to the physical form of the Buddhas is to recall Buddha. So when you focus on the Buddha body, bodily Buddha, there's a many benefit. Once you can remember the Buddha all the time. Second, it gives rise a lot of merit. Then usually you do a lot of prostration, offering, aspiration prayers. That's very important. For example, when we do, puja in TBC, when we do puja in the temple in, anywhere, there are always image of the Buddhas. Buddha Shakyamuni, Manjushri, always image of the Buddha there. So when we pray to Buddha Shakyamuni, we should not think I'm praying to the Buddha statue. Okay, you should not think I'm praying to the Buddha statue. We know the statue is just made of, brass or made of clay, whatever. With all the Buddha statue we keep in the temple, we build mainly remember the Buddha. It mainly for recalling the Buddha. So when you do prostration to the Buddha, first you look at the Buddha, have a complete image. Then you just think, the image of the Buddha is the real Buddha. Then you do prostration, you do offering, whatever. So this is very good, important. So everybody must, since today, you just, do meditation in order to achieve serenity and focus to the Buddha Shakyamuni. Then you're going to achieve serenity as well as you're going to remember Buddha all the time, give rise a lot of merit, and you're useful for your practices. Then how do you use something like the bodily form of the Tathagata as an object of meditation, right? How I can use the Buddha's body as an object of meditation, right? Then look at, in that regard, practitioners should first fix the intention on whatever they may have seen and whatever they may have heard here about the bodily form of the Tathagata. That means the practitioner, the meditator, just fix your mind with the Buddha body. Maybe you have seen the picture, statue, Thanga, or you heard about the Buddha statue. Then you fully fix your mind with the Buddha. Then the color is very important. The golden color, of the refined gold, adorned by the sign and the example of features, dwelling with the retune. That means when you visualize the Buddha statue, you must visualize the golden color. There's a reason, because when you do meditation, sometimes you have a excitement, sometimes you have a laxity. When you visualize the golden color Buddhas, with a lot of light, it evokes to have a laxity or dullness. Then you just simply visualize the Buddha, or you just think the Buddha is a real Buddha. You just think the Buddha is a real Buddha, giving teaching, is surrounded by all the disciples. Right? Then, of the true way to do this, newly imaging the Buddha's form and visualize the Buddha's form as through the actual person. The latter has a distinct advantage in the developing the faith and the fast within the context of practitioner common to both Sutra and Tantra. When you visualize Buddha Shakyamuni, you just newly you can imagine, or you just think is the real Buddha. If you think this is the real Buddha, you can have a lot of benefits. Then the next page number 42, right? 42. Sorry, 44, yeah, 44. Within the 44, we just go, do not let the object of meditation have the aspect of painting or sculpture. Rather, learn to have the appear in your mind with the aspect of the actual Buddha. Right? First you look at the painting, you can look at the sculpture. But when you do meditation, you must focus which one appear in your mind. Right? Appear in your mind. Within the aspect of actual Buddha. Some set an image before them and immediately meditate on it. Right? Somebody just look at the Buddha statue and just your mind just fully focus the image, the Buddha statue and painting. It is wrong. Some set image before them and immediately meditate on it. While starting at it, the master Ishideva, one of the Indian very famous practitioner, rejection of this practice is excellent. Master Ishideva totally reject. You should not focus the external object. Okay, you should not just focus the statue, painting, picture. You focus on what? The image in your mind. So Ishideva say you should not focus the external, painting a statue. It's excellent. He says, the point here, look at, he says, the concentration is not achieved in the sensory consciousness, right? When you just look at the Buddha, you fully focus the statue by your eyes. That means you are trying to achieve the serenity based on the sensory consciousness. No, we are not going to achieve the concentration, the sensory consciousness, but in the mental consciousness, right? Thus, the actual object of meditation of the concentration is the actual object of the mental consciousness, right? That means you copy the Buddha statue in your mind and just fully focus the image in your mind. You not look like you are looking at the external object. Therefore, you must keep your attention on this, mean the mental image in your mind. He also stressed what I explained above, that you have to focus your mind on the appearance of the actual concept. That means your mind fully focus the appearance of the actual concept or mental image of the object of the meditation. It's very clear, right? So that means you should not look like you are looking at the statue. You are not looking at the picture painting. You are just focused, your mind fully focus the image in your mind. Furthermore, they are both subtle and gross features. Another important. When you try to meditate on the Buddha's image, this can be gross, can be subtle. As a beginner, as a new practitioner, first you focus the gross feature. You just mean look at the Buddha head and eyes, nose, and like a shoulder and hands and legs. Just simply, roughly look the Buddha statue. You should not try to focus very detail, not in detail, roughly. Right? Gross feature on the gross feature, and the later when they are solid, you must focus on the subtle. So first you roughly, focus on the Buddha statue, the gross level, not in detail. When your mind become quite, stability, then you start to focus more subtle, right? That means simply everybody just imagine, the Marina Basin. Just Marina Basin. Everybody just imagine, right? That means you just can see, the building, the water, this thing, simply. Then now I can say you focus more in detail. Then you are looking one by one. The final you have a very detailed, image of the Marina Bay. Same thing, when you focus on the Buddha, Shakyamuni, simply you just have a, general image of the Buddha. This means head, eyes, nose, mouth, shoulder, hands and leg. Second, then you can just look at the eyes. Then you can see the color in the black and red and eyes, very precisely. Right? Then you must change the the object gross to subtle when you have a stable mind. The mind become quite solid. Solid means not stable. First focus on the gross feature, and later when they are solid, you must focus on the subtle. As experience also show that it is very easy to arise as an appearance of the gross feature, you must develop your object of meditation in stage starting with the gross of feature. Right? That means at the beginning you just start with the gross feature, not in the subtle one. Especially important point is that until you have everybody read very carefully. Especially important point is that until you have accomplished the satisfactory concentration, you don't need to read, just read in your mind. Concentration as explained below. It is never appropriate for you to cultivate meditative concentration by shifting your focus to many different types of object of meditation. Right? That means important one, you accomplish satisfactory mean just first everybody focus on the gross Buddha's image. Then you feel, oh, now my focus is quite good. You're quite happy about your concentration. Then you can focus more subtle level, right? Should not try to go directly, first time very subtle. You cannot. Satisfactory. Then look at self-concentration explained below. It is never appropriate for you to cultivate meditative concentration by shifting your focus to many different types of object of meditation. That means you are mainly practice meditation mainly for what? In order to achieve serenity. That means you should not shift, your focus. You just always focus on one object. If you chose Buddha, always focus on the Buddha. If you chose other object, you always use the same object. Today you focus on the Buddha Shakyamuni, tomorrow you focus on Amida Buddha, next you focus on another Buddha, then you never ever achieve serenity. Always focus on one object. Then look at, if you cultivate concentration by moving to many similar object of meditation, it will be a great impediment to achieve serenity. Thus, authoritative texts on the achieving concentration, such as the Asanga text on the level of, there's a text name, explain that when first achieving concentration, you do so in relation to the single object of meditation. They do not say that you shift among many objects of meditation, right? Thus now you have a true meaning and two reason. One, you want to do the meditation in order to reduce particular affliction emotion, then you use different object. Mainly you are doing meditation in order to achieve serenity, then you always focus on one object. The best one, the Buddha's, best one is the bodily Buddha, Buddha's body. Why? There's a many benefit. One, you always remember Buddha. You accumulate a lot of merit. Whatever you practice, you can practice based on the the image of the Buddha. And very important one, if you always able to remember Buddha, then you're going to remember Buddha while we are dying, right? Then we will die with a peaceful mind. We will die within the remember of the Buddha. That's why everybody try to meditate on the Buddha in order to achieve serenity. Then there's another important one. Next paragraph. Accordingly, the measure of having first found the object of meditation upon which you keep your attention is follow. Visualize like several times in the sequence the head, 2 arms, rest of the trunk of the Buddha, and 2 legs. After that, if when you bring your attention to the body as a whole, you can rest before you mind just half of the gross component. Then never without read it clearly. That means at the beginning you don't need to worry about the light, the kind of other feature. Simply you just visualize the gross body without having a lot of raising light, all the glories. Then there's another, I think, you should satisfy with just this and fix your attention upon it. Why? If dissatisfied with the just that, you able to visualize the gross Buddha body, but you cannot visualize in detail. Then you say, no, don't worry, still continues the focus. If you try to focus in detail, what happened? If dissatisfied with the just that, you fail to fix your attention on it and one more clarity instant. Then as you visualize is again and again, the object of meditation will become bit clear, but you will not obtain stable concentration. In fact, you will prevent yourself from the getting this. Let me look at, we everybody focus on the Buddha's body. We everybody able to focus. We have a quite good focus, but we cannot have a very clarity. We cannot have a clear object of Buddha. Then we thought, oh, it's no good, I must have a more clear. If you try to have a very clear visualization, then you have a clear, visualization, but you don't have the stability. You don't have the stability. First, you must be very happy with the, not so clear, but quite good focus. Okay, you must be happy. When your mind become quite stability, then you try to have a clarity. At the beginning, yes, you cannot have a very clear image of the Buddha. Still, it's okay. You meditate on until you have the satisfactory or until you have the stable mind. Then you can, try to have a very clear mind, clear one. So now we will start a new lesson, page number 47. Okay, focusing your mind. Now is very important. Number 2, how to focus your mind on the object of meditation. How to focus. It has 3 parts. What are they? Yes, there has 3 parts. Presenting the flawless methods, eliminating the flawed methods, indicating the length of the session. A. The flawless methods. The concentration that you will accomplish here has 2 special features. Okay, so we want to achieve the concentration, very concentration that you will accomplish here has 2 special features. What are they? Vivid intensity and non-discussability. Very important, right? When you do meditation, these 2 features must be there. Vivid intensity, non-discursive stability, right? Staying on the pointedly on the object of meditation, some add the bliss to this, making 3 features, and somebody other add, limpidity. It doesn't now. There's somebody has add 2 other feature. Most important, we has a 2 important feature. Vivid intensity, the non-discursive stability. This means, look at, when you try to meditate on something, you must know you fully focus. Not only focused, must have a vivid. It means you can see the object very clearly, as well as make sure your mind is not distracted. Right? So doing meditation is not, people say, oh, I'm doing meditation. I've been doing meditation for many years, but they don't know exactly, what kind of condition must there, what kind of obstacle must remove, right? So when you do meditation, 2 things are very important. What are they? The vivid intensity and stability. That means your mind must be very stable on the focus on the object, as well as very vivid. If there's no vivid, then you have the laxity. There's a vivid. If your mind is not so focused, that means there's another obstacle, which is excitement. That means you must eliminate the excitement. Also, you must eliminate the laxity. Okay, laxity. Make sure. Laxity. Now, next one, how we can have the vivid intensity and how we can have the non-discursive stability. Look at, staying on the pointedly on the object of meditation, some add bliss, Somebody add what? Limpidity. So those are not important, we have to learn. We just turn page number 48. Since the development of this sort of vivid intensity is blocked as long as there is the laxity. Okay? If there's a laxity, we never ever have the vivid intensity. Because vivid intensity is blocked as long as there's a laxity. While one-pointed non-discursiveness is blocked as long as there is a excitement and laxity. Right? Laxity and the excitement are the chief obstacle of achieving genuine concentration. Right? If you really want to achieve very perfect, complete concentration, you must eliminate the two things, which is laxity, excitement. Okay. What does mean excitement? What is the difference between excitement and distracted mind? Distracted mind. It's similar, right? The meaning is, right? Excitement is your mind is go somewhere. And also when you go destructive, your mind is go somewhere. What is the difference, the two of them? Yeah. Yeah, not distract mind. Yeah. No different, right? Yeah. Actually, there's a different. What are different? No, not guessing based on the text, huh? Not guessing based on the text. Okay. Look at. When you say excitement mean, for example, we everybody meditate on, have been meditate on, Buddha's body, bodily Buddha. Then, yes, at the beginning we are able to focus. Within a few minutes, our mind has gone somewhere. It's gone because of based on attachment on something. It's gone because not attachment, gone because of some other reason. For example, while we are doing meditation on Buddha body, so we remember to eat, like a food. We remember to drink water. Our mind has gone for drinking and eating because based on attachment, right? This we call excitement. Not like a distraction. Then while we are doing meditation, we remember to go for exercise. Or suddenly we remember, reciting mantra. Also is distract, but not like excitement. Okay? It distract because your mind is distract. You remember to do recitation. You remember to do chanting. It's not negative, but still distract. That means, excitement always, part of attachment, and caused by attachment. Distract is not necessarily caused by attachment, not part of attachment. For example, while you are doing meditation, you remember chanting, you remember, prostration. Is not excitement, still distract mind. Okay? So make sure, while you are doing meditation, make sure you don't have a excitement, you should not have a laxity. Do you know the difference between laxity and dullness? Laxity and dullness. Many, even though in Tibet, many practitioners or many masters, they mix, they thought, laxity and dullness is same. Actually, no. So we will learn more here. Look at. Are the chief of the obstacle of the achieving genuine concentration. Make sure, right? Who are the chief of the obstacle of concentration? laxity and excitement. So far two is there, you cannot have a genuine concentration. Excitement. So if you do not understand how to identify accurately the subtle and gross form of laxity and excitement, or if you do not know how to correctly sustain a concentration which stop this one, you have, indifferent them, then it will be impossible for you to develop serenity, not mention insight. Not mention insight, right? That means first you must recognize the gross and subtle, excitement and laxity, right? First you must recognize accurately subtle and gross form of laxity and excitement. Or if you do not know how to accurately sustain the concentration, which is stop those one, you have indifferent them, then it will be impossible you to develop the serenity and special insight. Hence, those who diligently seek concentration should master this technique, right? If you really want to do the perfect meditation, you have to be master this technique, how to recognize the laxity and excitement. Also, you must be master how to, eliminate laxity and excitement. If you are master of these techniques, then you can be perfect, meditator. You can be, perfect practitioner of the, mindfulness. Laxity and excitement are condition unfavorable for achieving serenity. Later I will discuss how to identify those unfavorable conditions and how to actually stop them. So it has a long, a lot of pages. So we must, it will take time, takes time, but somehow we have to go through. Now I shall explain how to develop concentration in the manner conducive to achieving serenity. Here, concentration, look at another important, here, concentration refers to your attention remaining on pointedly on the object of meditation. That means concentration refer to what? Refer to your attention. Attention, right? That means concentration, attention remaining on the pointedly on the object of meditation. In addition, it must stay with the object continuously, right? Like concentration means attention. Attention on what? Attention on the object. Not only just attention continuously. Continuously. Two things are need for this. In order to, attention to the object continuously remaining, then you need two things. What are they? Number one, okay. What's the number two? Accurate awareness of. Yeah, that means, in order to fully concentrate, fully attention, fully, attention to the object, then you need two things very important. Technique is which your attention is not distracted from whatever is had is original object of meditation. Make sure you don't have a distracted mind. Make sure you have a very accurate, not just awareness, accurate awareness of. Look, it's a two sentence very important. Accurate awareness of whether you are distracted, right? Distracted. Second one, whether you are becoming distracted. Distracted, right? Distracted. That means you are looking, let's say you are teacher. You are a teacher. You are looking at a student. Make sure the student is, study. Then you can see the student already stopped to study. You also going to he or she going to stop to study, right? That means when you focus on the object of meditation, make sure your mind already distract. Oh, make sure look like if you're going to know it's going to distract very soon, right? That means accurate awareness, many very accurate awareness. Make sure you fully focus. Make sure you're not distracted. Make sure becoming distracted. That means you have to be very aware of the meditation, of the object of the meditation. Becoming and distracted. Second one, what is this? Becoming distracted. The former is mindfulness. Which one? No. The former is mindfulness. The latter is vigilance. No. Two things are need. Technique which is your attention is not distracted. It is the mindfulness. The latter one, very accurate awareness, is the vigilance. The former is the mindfulness, the latter is the vigilance. Then the Mahayana Sutra Lamkara, mindfulness and vigilance bring about close mental focus because the former prevents your attention from wandering from the object of meditation, and the latter clearly recognizes that your attention is wandering. So before we move next page, is there anything I must clarify? Any question? Any question? No? Okay, no question, then we just move next one. If a lapse in mindfulness lead to the forgetting the object of meditation, you will be distracted and will immediately lose the object upon which you are meditating. Therefore, the foundation of the cultivating concentration is mindfulness, which does not forget the object. Right? So what is the foundation? What's the most important, like an important and foundation of the meditation? Mindfulness, right? Because at the beginning say, if a lapse in mindfulness lead to forgetting the object of meditation, you will be distracted and will immediately lose the object upon which you are meditating. Therefore, the foundation of cultivating concentration is mindfulness, which does not forget the object. How does such as mindfulness focus your mind right on the object of meditation? Once you have least visualize the object of meditation in the minimal manner explained above, generate a powerful apprehension of the object that tightly hold it with your attention. Now here look at, when we do meditation, actually there are always three minds together. Look like, this time we have very sensitive, sense. We have very sensitive sensor, right? Modern time. That means look like, they are very sensitive to minds, very sensitive. The general mind the general mind focus the object of meditation, right? Now everybody meditate on the Buddha bodily. That means our general mind focus on what? Buddha's body. One mind there is focused on the object of meditation, which is Buddha body, right? Then there's another mind always looking towards the mind. Make sure the mind is fully focused to the, the image of the Buddha. Second mind, right? Then another mind which is three mind, right? Concentration, mindfulness, then visualize, right? That means concentrate on the mind, concentrate the object, one mind. The another one is mindfulness, which is mindful the mind, make sure the mind is fully focused. Third one, the vigilance. Vigilance mean what was the function of the vigilance? Awareness. Yeah, alert. That mean, look, they look like three minds, in order. The first mind, focus. Second mind, make sure the mind is fully focused or not. Third mind, the mind is not focused. Third mind must aware. Right? That means three people, on the land, on the queue. First person is, you have to look after the object. Second person, make sure the first person fully look at the object. The fourth person, make sure he not focus, he must know. That means three person, like a state on the queue. First person have the responsibility look at the object. Second person has a responsibility make sure the first person fully look at the object. The last person has a responsibility. When the second person not look at the first person, he must know. He must report. That means 3 months always there. So when you do meditation, the general mind fully focus the object. The second mind, which is you call the mindfulness. Mindfulness make sure you fully mindful. Third is the vigilance. Very sensitive sensor, right? That's why, so if the mindfulness, not able to mindful, then the object going to forget. The object of meditation going to forget. Look at this means how does such as mindfulness focus your mind right on the object of meditation? Once you have at least visualize the object of meditation in the minimal manner explained above, generate a powerful apprehension of the object of tightly hold it with your attention. After you have set your attention at the high level, stabilize it on the object without newly analyzing anything. Right? That means once you set your mind on the object, you should not have a new object. Then you are able to focus. Then there's a sentence. What is the mindfulness? Right? What is the mindfulness? As question. In regard to the familiar object, one sentence, right? Regard to familiar object. Then next one, your mind is not forgetful. Third one, operate without destruction. Look at number one said, regard to familiar object. Okay, familiar object. Then next one, not forgetful. The last one, operate without destruction. This means you're talking about, three characteristics of the concentration. This indicates the first mindfulness has three features. Number one is absorbed object. Right? That means when you do meditation, your mind very familiar with the object. Right? When you meditate on the Buddha body, your mind very familiar with the Buddha body. When you meditate on impermanence, your mind very familiar with the impermanence. If your mind is not familiar with the object, you cannot do meditation. That means you have to think very again and again. Make sure your mind is very familiar. That means absorbed object is a familiar object. Since mindfulness does not occur, look at, since mindfulness does not occur with regard to a previously unfamiliar object, right? When you do meditation, you make sure your mind is very familiar with the object. The object is not familiar with your mind, then you cannot do meditation. In this case, the image of the previously ascertained object of meditation appear. Second is subjective aspect of the manner of the apprehension is your mind is not forgetting the object. Second means what second? The second sentence. Your mind is not forgetful. Right? That means you are very familiar with the object and also you are not forgetful the object. What does not forgetfulness mean? Right? That means look is important. It is not mentioned in the reference to the merely being able to remember. It's not talking about just you must remember the object. What your guru taught you about the object of meditation, thinking or saying. It doesn't mean you remember the object. You can say object is like this. No. The object of meditation is like this. When you cast your mind to it or when someone asks you about it, rather you refer to how your attention is fixed on the object of meditation and bring into mind clearly without even the slightest distraction. That means it's not just enough to remember the object. It's not just enough to say objects, the meditation objects like this and that. That means you always able to remember the object very clearly without distraction. Destructive. The third, the function is to keep your attention from the wandering from the object of meditation. That means the function, what is the function of the mindfulness? Keep your attention from the wandering from the object of meditation. That means your mind always remember the chosen object. Right? That means feature number one, observe object. The feature number two, subjective aspect. Feature number three, function. Function means your attention from the one. That means you always, your mind always mindful, which is you already have chosen. You should not, focus on new object. So this means, so I think we can stop here. So for you as a homework, you can do the revision. Then there's a few things I thought. So as a homework, page number 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. And please everybody read until the length of the sessions, right? Session. Yeah, 54. 49 to 54. Why not just say, 55. 49 to 55. Yeah, whole chapter. whole chapter. The next class, so we will learn about laxity and excitement. Okay, any question? No question, right? Yes?
So are you saying that we should not do the image at the same time? Because there will be two different objects of meditation. Because when we are trying to stabilize, to achieve serenity, one method is to rely on the breath, right?
Yeah.
The other is to have the image.
Yeah.
So if we have difficulty with the image, many of us started with the breath for stabilization.
As I mentioned before, when we do meditation, we are doing, mainly for the two purpose. The purpose number one, we are doing meditation in order to reduce, particular afflictive emotion. Then we have to focus on individually. It's clear, right? Second, we are doing the meditation mainly for achieving serenity. So the best one, in order to achieve serenity, you can focus on the image of the Buddha, the best one, because you can have a lot of benefits. You can remember the Buddha, also erase a lot of karma, also remember all the good qualities. If it's still okay, you can focus on your breath. Still, you first start, but you cannot have all the benefits. You can achieve the serenity, but you cannot have all the benefit, which is recalling the Buddha or accumulating a lot of merit. You cannot use the breath, the breathing meditation when you do your practice. Yes.
And then we stabilize and then we go, because otherwise it's not so easy to calm down.
Yes. Okay, why not we just say this way? So everybody are very new about meditation. We want to do meditation. We want to start. Among the group, 10 people, 10 people's mind is very calm, already have calm. Then they can start, meditation right from focusing on the Buddha body. Among the 10, their mind is not that calm. Has a lot of thoughts, lot of busy mind. Those who have lot of busy mind, those who have lot of, thoughts, the best you meditate on, you focus on your breath. Maybe, the time but 21 time. When your mind has become very calm, then you shift the object of meditation as a Buddha statue. Okay? Again, when you do meditation, make sure you are thinking you have a true achievement. One, you want to reduce all the negative thoughts individually. Second, you are doing this meditation mainly for achieving serenity. When you try to achieve serenity, you should not change the object of meditation very often. You just focus only one object. Always one object. Okay? Once you achieve serenity, like a Shamatha or Samadhi, then next you're very easy to focus any object. That means since today, because we are studying Lamrim, we are studying about, meditative concentration. Since today, everybody just focus mainly achieving serenity. Okay, serenity. In between, you have different thoughts. When you have a different thoughts, a lot of afflict emotions, so difficult to, achieve serenity. Then you can focus on individually, reduce all the afflict emotions. When you reduce, then again you start to do meditation on, Buddha's body. This means generally your meditation is mainly focusing, achieving serenity And sometimes you need to focus on individual way because you need to eliminate certain negative thoughts. Yes. No question? No question, right? Okay, so then we will do the dedication prayers. So don't forget to do the homework. Don't forget bring the books, huh?